Well, look at that. I finally got this damn thing working again. Or pretty much I know how to use YouTube Live. Well, that was supposed to be an interesting joke to enter the whole show. But anyways, yes, you're in the zone with me, Isaiah. And yes, I got a nice clean shave and everything else because this was the hottest show on Netflix. Will I address how bad it is? Is it the worst show on Netflix or Marvel's production itself? And all those answers will be wait. Okay, all those questions will be answered very, very soon, which is now. And is it the worst show on Netflix or the worst show on from made by Marvel? No, it is not. I have seen awful shows like Arrow and most of CW shit and a lot of boring shit too. And so much more. But anyways, yes, Iron Fist is a really, really, really good action-packed kung fu type of stupid fun, I like to say. It's stupid fun with a interesting story. More interesting than Luke Cage and more interesting than Jessica Jones. But then I'll get into that a little bit later on because I like to pretty much delve inside the mystery of all. Okay, so let's address the biggest issues. I know I'm going to the negatives now, which I gotta do that because I want to get this out the way before I go into everything else that's really cool about Iron Fist. Okay, the first, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly 5. Those episodes are boring. I cannot lie behind anything like that. The first episode I know is a large drag. The fight choreography is not really tight enough. I mean, it's really interesting, but it shows potential where it can become really, really good. But it's more of a juggling act because it's pretty much a story character build focus 1 through 5. And I like it because it tells more about the characters of Finn Jones, Iron Fist, aka Danny Rand, aka the most stupidest hero on the planet Earth. And it's kind of funny too. That's actually a good thing, not a bad thing, because how you have Matt Murdock and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, they're street smart and also book smart. Well, mostly Matt Murdock, but that's another long case I'm going to get into right now. And yes, you can see my TV. Well, you can't really see my TV. He's doing a lot of colors in the background. But anyways, so you can say he's not the brightest of the bunch, which is obviously true. He's not the brightest of the bunch because he is very gullible to people who he thinks is his family, but they really are not. His family of his choice, his friends, the Henchmans, or the Mitchums, like for Ward, not Grant Ward, but Ward. I know. Anyways, like Ward Mitchum, Harold Mitchum, and Joy Mitchum. Those 3 characters are from the comic books. And Harold Mitchum, he was not really all that interesting character in the comic books, but here they made him more interesting. And people might get the wrong inception, like, oh, he's a generic villain, he's this and that. He may be a generic villain, but he has layers on why he became such a villain in a sense. Because he's trying to do everything for his quote-unquote family. But in actuality, he's actually doing everything for himself. And you see him do so many mind games on Danny and also Ward. Ward is the only person who actually can see through his bullcrap. But he's not the brightest of the bunch on dealing with the Hand. Well, you spoiled it, Isaiah. Okay, let's be honest. The Hand was already been shown in the trailers of Iron Fist, thanks to Madame Gao. And I had to get into her later on because I love that character. But I want to go really much more deeper in that character because it explains more about the mythos of the Hand, more so than Daredevil Season 2 did. And though this is no disrespect to Daredevil Season 2, which I love personally, it's one of my favorite Netflix shows. It's like up there with Daredevil Season 1, and then there's Iron Fist. And then you got Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. But again, I'll explain the hierarchy very, very soon. But anyways, so the actors who play the Mitchums are Ward Mitchum is by Tommy Pinifi, whatever. And Joy Mitchum is Jessica Strope. God, they have the most weirdest last names of all time. Anyways, and the next one is Harold Mitchum, David Winham. David Winham. Anyways, these 3 characters do show up. I mean, they're pretty much part of the main cast and crew of Iron Fist Season 1. And these characters I like Ward Mitchum a lot, and also Joy Mitchum, because I was going to be annoyed by them, but as when time went on, they explain their characters, why they act like this, and you see potential. But the same notion, how the story involves these characters, you don't see coming. I didn't see that coming at all. Like, oh shit, well that's new, because it was new, and the secrets and they hide from each other are so profound within the story that you can't really feel bad, or you do feel bad. It's like a love and hate relationship. They do a lot of things you want to hate them for, or you like them for. You know, if they're sticking up for Danny, or pretty much sticking up for the Hand. Either that was a sexual joke I just made. But anywho, all the cases and scenarios is that the Mitchums play a really interesting character arc. They're like the biggest villain and the anti-villain, because you need Joy Mitchum to interact and pretty much tell the story of Ward Mitchum. You need Ward Mitchum to tell the story of Joy, and you need Joy and Warden to tell the story of Harold, who we had no knowledge about, but you see him develop his schemes, because he's a con man. He's like a really good con man who can pretty much go around circles around people who don't know how to deal with him, because you must have an imagination to understand what Harold is all about. And Ward actually goes into detail on how he pretty much doesn't trust his father, how he hates his father, and he's not really fooled by his father's tactics, because he's been ruled by his father's thumb up his ass for so long that you see his character break down as time goes on. And episode 3, he just pretty much has not a nervous breakdown, but his character was cracking in a good way, where he can't really keep up the charade of helping his father. And at the end of the season, you see that you like his character more, because the things he did, awful things he has done, is because of his father's willing just to protect his sister. And so it was a really catch-22. Like, you had to protect your sister, but at the same notion, I gotta do everything what my dad tells me, because he's pretty fucking crazy, which he is. And this will go back to a lot of like horror movies, but mostly one horror movie that I like is Pet Sematary. 1, not 2, but 1. And I don't think the story details all the way, because, well, yes, I can do that right now, because it's my show. Anyways, Harold Mitchum is like the walking stereotype movie of the Pet Sematary, where you bury somebody and they come back to life, more like not the same way, but more evil and more twisted. And that's what the Hand gave him, is immortality, Harold Mitchum, because he was dying from cancer. I wonder where I heard that from before. Anywho, back to what I was saying from before. Harold Mitchum pretty much was the main architect behind Danny becoming Iron Fist. And so many other pieces of detail within the story after episode 5, it becomes more clear that the Hand is more of a dangerous threat, and more of a serious threat than Hydra. And because Harold Mitchum plays he plays Russian roulette with the Hand, where he can use the Hand for his own personal gains, or pretty much want to get rid of the Hand for his personal gains. It's always towards him, because that was his favorite ability. And I like that character a lot, and the actor pretty much played Harold Mitchum to a nice T. But to be fair, Harold Mitchum's not really all that known in that comic books, except for in Iron Fist comic books, which is very briefly. But again, that's a long story I don't feel like getting into, because the Iron Fist comic books are hit and miss. The Immortal Weapon, which is one of Iron Fist's latest comic books, like this was back in 2006 or 2005. It was Immortal Weapon. Anyways, that's an awesome comic book to actually get into. Sorry about Iron Fist. I haven't got that comic book because, again, Iron Fist is not one of my favorite characters, and I don't technically care for Iron Fist until I watch this show. And Iron Fist is not like a major like magical warrior. Don't get that confused with Doctor Strange. He is a magical warrior, but at a street level, at an urban level. And it's really how Danny pretty much plays the part of pretty much how do I set my destiny if I can't become this or that. and it becomes really, really cool. But also the psychological things behind it all, it plays a really great factor for Iron Fist, because you have a lot of villains challenge and also question the Iron Fist's like motivations, his friends, and also things what he's doing, if it is noble or not. And I love how it plays back and forth. And Finn Jones is actually really a good actor. And I like how they pretty much played his. I really like how he's gonna get more screen time. Well, not screen time, but he's gonna get more of a leg up in his career, because as Iron Fist, he wasn't boring character to watch or actually listen to. Yes, in the first episodes, it was kind of like cringeworthy, but there were cringeworthies that you must go through, because the story is doing a lot of character development before you get into the whole hardcore action. And trust me when I say this, there's a lot of action after episode 5, episode 6, where you're actually gonna love the show, because it goes back to the Bruce Lee's movie Game of Death, where Iron Fist is going against other types of people of the hand, because he has to face off. He has to get this one dude's daughter back, and he has to fight these 3 greatest warriors, or 4 greatest warriors if you want to count those 2 guys. But every stage and level for him to fight was actually brawn. And pretty much, what are you willing to sacrifice? He could have won, but he was not going to let spill the blood of the innocents just to win against the hand. And I like that, because it's more of a juggling act, where Matt Murdock, or Daredevil really, he was facing the hand by himself at a physical and mental capacity. Iron Fist was pretty much fighting him on a mental to the physical realm. What I mean by that is that he has to fight the hand, not with pure strength alone, but also with his own mind, his knowledge, his smarts, and how he integrates with Madame Gao. And I just love that woman. And the woman who plays Madame Gao is, I'm gonna mess this up, Wang Ching Ho. Anyways, she's really amazing. Madame Gao, I kid you not, every time she comes on the screen, she kills it every single time. And she delivers the line so creepy, but you kind of want to hear what she's gonna say. She's like Emperor Palpatine from the Star Wars series. And where you don't want to listen to her, she does speak some truth, but in the most twisted ways ever. And Madame Gao, oh my goodness, every time she shows up, I'm telling you, she keeps making the show even more better, even more badass. And so with Madame Gao pretty much playing the mix within Iron Fist, it's actually like a mental battle. It's like a mental mind game. It goes back and forth. Danny is not fully developed in the mind game tactics. Madame Gao is, and she plays the fiddle of pretty much using the truth against Iron Fist. And so it was really fascinating how she actually conveyed the web of actually honesty with web of lies. You can see that with how she got attachment towards Wilson Fisk, like the Kingpin. And I see like, oh, that's why, because her generosity, her honesty, or quote unquote, or trust comes with a price. Everything comes with a price with Madame Gao, because she is part of the hand. She makes the hand a fearsome weapon. You can say that other hand leaders like Baku, he was interesting. I mean, he was a really cool fighter, but at the same notion, he's not really all that interesting compared to Madame Gao, you know? And this is where the show kind of dips a little bit in quality, because the villains aren't like Madame Gao. And I know that's kind of unfair, but when Madame Gao comes by again, she brings her A game, the actress. And when she brings her own crew, like again, episode 6, and also in episode, if I'm correct, 8 or 9, we have another fighter within the hand, and I like that character too. It was all Asian characters, by the way, but again, I digress. You had like a drunken master, you had like a poisonous martial artist, you got twin type, you got double dragon type of fighters, and you have a weapons master fighter. Well, that's a mouthful. And they all was compelling and also more interesting than Baku and Harold Mitchum, because these are characters I had never seen in comic books, but I love how they play in the notions of using like it was one of those old classic Kung Fu movies. and I can't help but love it. I really one of the fights I loved the most was one fight that I loved the most was the Iron Fist, and that was fucking cool. It was like that Jackie Chan Drunken Master movie, and I like that a lot. That was one of my favorite martial art, well, one of my favorite fictional martial arts films. But again, I digress. There, and yes, Claire, she's in it too, the night nurse, and she's not really used much often as she was in Luke Cage. I mean, in Daredevil season 1 and 2, she's amazing. In Luke Cage, she was perfect. I mean, beyond perfect. Jessica Jones, she was okay, and here it's like a middle of the road. She wasn't bad, but some parts she was not needed. Until the last part, she was pretty much needed. She was like the whole confidant or the moral compass for Danny Rand. And I liked it how she pretty much questions like Danny's like own moral compass as well, just like Madame Gao was doing. Like you're gonna do X, Y, and Z, but to actually do X, Y, and Z, you must take a life, and that's what you're really gonna become, is a person who's gonna take lives as the Iron Fist. And I like that whole dabbling of pretty much how you become a hero or the villain, and cool. I like how it all simmered down to pretty much he can't become the Iron Fist that like Kung Lao or Kung Li, whatever, wants him to be. And you see a lot of like again, the mind games don't just come from the hand, but it also comes from Danny himself, because he's always questioning himself, or he's questioning his master's techniques or his teachings. And I like how it all played out. You don't really see much of him after season 6. Yeah, after season 6, I mean, that's episode 6. You don't see much of him because Danny Rand abandoned his teacher's teachings. That's a mouthful. And then we get another new character named Davos, who is played by oh my lord, Shaka Dewan. Anyways, Davos, I really like this character, and how you think you have him like all figured out at the end of the season is like, what the what? It was all a game, dog. Damn, because Davos, if he was quote unquote the main villain of all, if he was the main villain, more than Bako, and also Harold Mitchum, because Davos has a lot of history with Danny Rand, because that's where the monks found Danny Rand, because his plane crashed due to Harold Mitchum's involvement in poisoning the pilots and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. And when he went to the magical lands of Kung Lao, I hope Kung Lu, I really can't really say it properly, so sue me later. Anyways, Davos becomes like his brother within a war to stop the hand. And the actors, how they play off each other was really, really good. And you see that chemistry, you see that contempt and pretty much anger for one another, because one betrayed another for doing X, Y, and Z. But you can't really blame him, because that's not him. He doesn't want to become a mindless weapon of killing the hand or killing anyone of that matter. He wants to become his own character. And Colleen, who is played by, hold up, give me a second. I got it. Okay, Jessica Henwick. And I love Colleen Wing. Anyways, I love this character a lot. Where I actually got her figured out too is like, what in the what? Because you'd be saying like, what in the what? What just happened here? Because the story itself, it develops so much that you don't really see these characters becoming another side of themselves until you find out like, what just happened here? What just happened here? Because like for instance, I didn't like the dojo scenes at all, but it played a big part to the story. And it was like something I didn't see coming at all either. Like, damn, I didn't see that coming at all, my Nig. What's going on, Nig? What's going on, man? What's going on? Like that song, what's going on? I'm trying to be funny, okay? I'm not that funny. Let's just go with that, okay? I'm terrible at jokes. Ha. Anywho, back to what I was saying from before. Where was it? Oh yes, Colleen Wing. We say the daughter of the dragon, and her fighting styles is really unique. It's not the same as Iron Fist because everyone's fighting styles are all different. They're not really the same. And the only person who can't really fight to save their own damn life is Harold Mitchum. But again, I can't really say much more because I kind of want you guys to actually watch the show, not just listen to reviewers on. But again, Rotten Tomatoes do not review movies; they just collect other reviews from other critics around the web or around the world, whatever. That's all they do. They don't review movies, okay? And no, this is not like the Batman vs Superman or the Suicide Squad type of like shitty ratings. Because when I look at those reviews, they had merit because it was a movie and then everything else, and you can tell it was WB's fault. But anyways, this is a TV show that you must invest your time in. And it's not just for the fans. It's not just for people who like to watch good, entertaining shows. It's for everybody. And Finn Jones saying that it's for the fans, that was pretty stupid. Or saying some influence made the show have bad ratings, which again, that's fucking stupid. Like, dude, shut the hell up. You're just admitting guilt or just admitting the show sucks, which it doesn't. I kid you not. The show does not suck at all. The first episode might feel like it sucks until you actually start building more of that time and investment within the characters, the story, and the action scenes, because the action scenes do get better and better. Episode 13, the fighting kind of gets a little off and on. It's a give and take, but it's really satisfying give and take because this is where Danny Rand becomes the Iron Fist and he can actually channel his chi, because that's really what his power is. It's chi. It's not really his powers either. His chi is actually a natural flowing energy from we all have all around the universe. So it's really a mixture of like, it's not really a power, but it's actually using the universe as your weapon in a sense. And so there's a lot of hallway scenes. There's a lot of hallway scenes as well, like a lot of fight scenes. Like there's a lot of hallway fight scenes, and there was the elevator fight scene, which was really, really, really good because you had so much going on. You had like 4 or 5 dudes trying to kill Danny, and this wasn't the Hand, by the way. It was another gang members who you don't really care about, and you don't care about them at all either. They would just be like, and so the fight scenes with them are really good, and there's just so much to like about this show because, again, it takes time to invest in these shows, but also the payoff is still more rewarding than what other shows you see on basic cable. And so, was this the worst show? Was this one of the worst? Was this one of the worst shows in Arrow season whatever? No, this is beyond better than Arrow. I'm sorry, it just is. And yes, it uses the same elements as like you see in every other superhero show, but here they do more. They challenge the logic of becoming a superhero. They challenge everything, just like you see with Daredevil season 2 or Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. They have that question of doubt, like, are you a hero? Can you be a hero? Can you take a life and still become a hero, or can you be a hero without taking a life? And so there's so much more that I can say, but you really do have to watch it because the whole psychological game behind it all, as a viewer, is a much worth journey to watch. And also, really good shout out, or not really a shout out, Carrie Ann Moss, aka Trinity from The Matrix. She replays her character as Jerry Hogarth, or another case where Danny calls her J Money. Yeah, it's really stupid, but it's really funny. And there are some funny moments in this show, which I do like. It doesn't really take all too seriously because they made a joke about the Iron Fist. I think Harold Mitchum said, "What is that? Is that like a sex? Is that a sex toy?" Or it was something like a sexual innuendo. And their supporting characters outside the main cast are not that good, unless you're not counting the Hands fighters, one of the greatest fighters they had. Those characters are awesome supporting characters because it tells you that the Hand is no joke. They really are no joke. Their operation, their schemes are so embedded in New York, it's not funny. And this is why Daredevil, in a sense, he didn't really win a fight against the Hand. He didn't actually win a war. He just pretty much won a battle. This is what Iron Fist did. He won a battle. He didn't win a war with the hand. The hand is never ending, you know? Also, he need a better teacher. Sticks. But anyways, what else I can say that I haven't said beforehand? The actors are great. Love them all. Finn Jones does a great Iron Fist. He is the Iron Fist that we all need and want. But Claire, the night nurse, she has a really good cameo, and also she's a good supporting character. The fight scenes are really, really good. Episode 1 was okay, 2 and 3, but it gets better. Trust me. And the fight scenes that Danny has with the three with the hand's greatest fighters, you would love that shit. You really would. Just like the one with the Drunken Master, that was a really, really good fight. I loved it. And him explaining his powers, and you feel that they were on a budget too. But they used that budget very wisely and didn't blow their whole load in the first episode. They actually blew their whole load at the end of the season, which was cool. And a lot of character arcs that switch and turn. You thought Joy was gonna be like, oh, okay, she's gonna be like Shovel Face or like Thea, but turns out she's not. She's actually a character who has pretty much a messed up and easily manipulated moral compass, which I do like that in her character. Ward, I thought he was gonna be like a Tommy or a douchebag character, which he was a douchebag. He doesn't deny that, but how his character changed and twists and turns to actually do the right thing was actually something I loved about his character. Ward is something that you can actually hate, but also actually like a lot. Colleen Wing, I keep on fucking her last name up. Colleen, she's amazing. I love her character and how the big twist and reveal, what her end game is like, what the fuck? And I can't tell you because you have to really see it. The reason why I've been saying so much about the hand, there's more to the hand within this season that I can't really say. Not because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but you have to really watch it yourself because you really won't see it coming at all. Like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming at all. And what else? What else I could say? Oh yes. Iron Fist supporting characters, not including again the hand's henchmen, are very bland or just not there. They're just there for set pieces for a story, and they're kind of boring, which is really disappointing because in Daredevil season 1 and 2, the supporting characters all had a role to play. And also Jessica Jones had a strong supporting cast, unlike Luke Cage, in a sense. The fight scenes, again, I mentioned this too, but the fight scenes, the early scenes, are really not good. This first episode, you can tell when you can see, like, he didn't really hit him. That's baloney, nigga. That's baloney. But anyways, I was trying to thought. But it's still worth good investment. The villains, that's Marvel's pretty much own biggest gripe is that they're villains. But however, Harold Mitchum's motivations, how pretty much he's a good schemer and a con artist, and how he twisted his own children and Danny for his own pleasures and games, and also how his own interests, I liked that a lot too. I loved it. And however, the end result for him was kind of not overly dramatic, as you say, again, like in Daredevil season 2, but that's okay because Iron Fist is Iron Fist, not Daredevil or Luke Cage or Jessica Jones. The fight scenes, not fight scenes, I gotta get off that. What else? Oh yes, you have a lot of main bad guys too. If you're not Madame Gao or the henchman of the hand, you're pretty much boring, like Baku or Baka, whatever. He was very a one-note character I didn't care about, but the actor who plays him, he was really cool. I like the actor. The character motivation for his character motivations, Baka. Oh my god, I cannot say that. Baku, who was played by Raymond Rodriguez. Really? Damn, I didn't know that. Anyways, but we will see him again. I know that for sure on how things play out because the hand has one thing that's really annoying, but they have that Naboo type of ability. Naboo, you know, from season 1 to 2, who cannot die at times or most times because the hand is pretty much undying at best. And again, he wasn't really all that interesting because you know he's gonna come back again, so I was like, who gives a fuck? But Davis. Oh my god, that name. He is a really interesting character. I can't really say he's a bad guy or a good guy because I don't want to spoil that type of story because you would know at the end of episode 13 what kind of character he is. And it's a worthwhile to see through because he's a really cool character, much more better than Harold and Baku, and that's it. Because he's not better than Madame Gao. Madame Gao, if she was not in this show would have sucked. Because Madame Gao, she brought that heat, she brought that action, she brought everything else that made Danny's life a living hell. But that was a nice battle of mind games of Madame Gao and Danny Rand. And then you have his friends, so you can't really say, are they really my friends? So anyway, sorry. So I would rank this again between all the Netflix movies I've seen, shows. I would have to say it's up there a little bit higher than Luke Cage and higher than Jessica Jones. It's up there with Daredevil season 1 and 2. I mean, it can't really eclipse Daredevil because Daredevil, again, that's like fucking amazing. Season 1, breathtaking. Season 2, all inspiring. It's up. I mean, it's really, really high. And when you compare story links and this and that, Jessica Jones has a little bit better story over Iron Fist and pretty much over Luke Cage. And the fight scenes, oh god, Iron Fist's fight scenes are 10 times better than Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. They're on par with Daredevil, but I can't say they're better than Daredevil. I won't say that. And I mean, if you had to tell me like which one's gonna be better between Luke Cage or Iron Fist, it's pretty much Iron Fist. Because no fact I gave Luke Cage a high remarks like a must watch, which it is a must watch. I won't really watch it again because there's certain parts I don't like, and there's most parts where the dialogue becomes very hokey. It's like, okay, whatever, or it becomes boring at times. I don't hate the character, but I love Luke Cage. I love the actor. I love the set pieces. I love Diamondback, who people didn't like a lot, but I like Diamondback because he was a bootleg Candyman looking Samuel Jackson motherfucker, but he was really funny to me. He ain't better than Cottonmouth, but that's again up for another debate, another video. But anyways, what do I give Iron Fist season 1? Looking at all the negatives, like a very slow episode 1 through 5 at times. Somewhat boring villains or somewhat one-note villains are pretty much forgettable ones, not because they're terrible, but they just don't have much going for them. The actors are good. Blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much about it. That's all negatives I have. But Finn Jones and all the cast and crew are great. Madame Gao still should show every single time because you love that actress. And so many cameos and awesome characters that show up in Iron Fist, like again, Jerry Money or Jerry Hogarth, and the Night Nurse, of course, and a lot of, I mean, this is what I like a lot, that if you haven't seen Daredevil season 2, you don't really understand the gripes that Claire has with her own her former job. You know, be important to actually for you to understand it. But again, I'm losing track now. Sorry. Again, the fight scenes are amazing. The hand become more important and a more powerful character arc than in Daredevil season 2. But again, I think they were working on pretty much time itself. But here they have a lot of time to tell you about the hand and how powerful and how evil the hand is. Like, holy shit. And you won't really feel walking away from it all. You will actually like the show even more as a good, stupid, fun show to watch overall. And I think those reviewers who say, oh, because he's white or this or that, it is fucking stupid. And again, Finn Jones should not have made no comments about the whole reviews or critics or whatever it could be because it made him feel stupid or look stupid or sound stupid. But you know how he is. He's an actor, not your brain surgeon. Anyways, it is a very high, I mean, literally a high badass sun rating because you will love the show once you reach episode 6. But the early episodes are drag. They do drag because they're trying to build character development and story elements, which I do like, but some people might not like because it drags on so hard at times. But overall, you will have a great time watching it. I mean, you will actually have a lot of good fun and stupid fun. You will have discovering more about the hand, rewatching the martial arts fighting styles, watching Danny Bang, Colleen Wing again. Colleen Wing. I don't know why I brought that up. But there's a lot of funny moments, there's a lot of cool moments, and I think you will actually see this again. Like rewatchable, like how Daredevil season 1 and 2 is, but it's still high. It's a very high badass star rating. It's pretty much overtops Luke Cage. No, in fact, I did get it a must watch. I will still watch this over Luke Cage because Luke Cage. I don't hate Luke Cage. I really don't. I like Luke Cage, but when it comes to like just pure watchability, there's times I don't want to watch it. There's times like, okay, can I skip this, please? I don't give a fuck. I really don't. It was multiple times I didn't really give a fuck. But again, I had a poll too. Asked my friends like, what was the most things that you didn't like about Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, or whoever? And it was really interesting comments. Some people didn't like Luke Cage because after they got rid of Cottonmouth, the story and the writing got a little bit was going downhill or decline. I mean, it wasn't terrible or bad, but it was something that's not really right home about, you know? And the death of Cottonmouth, people did not like that because they love that actor and they love that character because he was like the kingpin. Like, there's multiple layers behind his character. You know he's bad, but why did he become a bad person? Why did he become X, Y, and Z, right? And so going on from there, I still like this more than Jessica Jones. I mean, I love the actress of Jessica Jones, and pretty much Purple Man made the show even better next to Luke Cage, but again, that's another long video. So it gets me hyped up for The Defenders, very hyped up, and I cannot wait for that Punisher Netflix show to come out soon. I really can't wait for that. But anyways, this again a very high badass sun rating. Again, overtopples Jessica Jones and Luke Cage together, while not topping. It's not overtopping of Daredevil or Daredevil season 2, because those are just, you can't touch those. That's pretty much hard to do, and they're all different shows. Okay, because Daredevil is a crime drama, so is Jessica Jones, or pretty much a rape type of show, PTSD, and Luke Cage is pretty much a Harlem's black show. And Iron Fist is pretty much a martial arts show. You're gonna have a great time, and don't listen to the critics if you think it's gonna be like, oh, this and that. No, just watch it yourself and judge it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You watch it, okay? And that's been my whole take. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say, folks. Do look out for the next video where I'm gonna talk about or review Horizon, Logan, and Kong. Spoiler alert, I would say Horizon is one of the best games of 2017. Logan's a good movie, but not the best X-Men movie like Deadpool, and that's really about it. And Kong Skull Island is boring as hell, but I will get into that later on down the road. You're leaving the zone thanks to me, and as always do keep it locked, loaded, very warm for me, because I'll be back with more interesting videos of me talking like a madman, or me talking because I can't make any good jokes, or talking because I'm just rambling on because that's really just me. But anyways, do keep a lookout for my next videos. And also, as March 21st comes by and pass, I will be playing and showcasing Mass Effect Andromeda. It'll be like an episode like Netflix type of show. But anyways, that's been me. I'm trying to get the hell out of here, but I keep talking. Please, Isaiah, shut the hell up. Anyways, you've been locked low very well because I'll be... keep it locked low and very well for me because I'll be back and not screw up so many times in this outro. See ya.